Um, there are some things that you can do that would put yourself in danger, like putting your feet under the basket. A basket might rock kind of back or forth a little, so always be mindful of where your toes are and that you're not getting your toes under the basket. The other thing is it's the way you handle the balloon. Each pilot kind of has their own way of doing things. One thing that we ask is that if you're holding a rope, you're holding a rope. We're never wrapping ropes around our hand. That's the second worst thing you could do. Because if we get a little gust of wind and it yanks and pulls your arm and then you're on the ground, so never wrap a rope. You're always hold it most likely at the very end of the rope. Most likely the pilot will give you gloves. You don't want to be holding ropes without gloves, or you don't want a rope burn. I mean, that's common sense things. I'm assuming everybody's out here pretty outdoorsy to kind of get some of those things. They will ask you, there's different positions on the balloon. If you're working with a special shape, they have appendages that have some Velcro that needs put together. So they might instruct you on that. It's pretty simple, it's Velcro, but it's usually in a long line. We don't step on the balloon. It's made of ripstop nylon. Even on the grass, we just don't step on them. So always be mindful of your feet for that factor. So we talk about ropes, gloves. They may or may not provide. Maybe if you come back tomorrow, you might bring your own. I have some extra at my truck. My truck is a white Sprinter down there. They're kind of big and goofy, but if you feel like you need a pair, you can come see me. Mainly the positions, there is an inflator fan. That is one of the most dangerous parts. You guys have these volunteer tags around your neck. You never want to be behind that fan with that around your neck. It can suck in the back of that flag and the fan, and next thing you're in there. That is the next third biggest danger zone. So make sure these tags are tucked away way under your shirt, not just, you can even remove them. If you're on my balloon, you're not going to be, it's behind the fan. The fan is a short time. How we inflate the balloon is we're going to get the uprights up. We're going to attach the envelope. Most pilots do that themselves. And then they're going to ask you to hold open the mouth of the balloon and they'll turn on the fan. We pump it full of cold air. Once it's full, the envelope is full of cold air, we add the hot air, make it rise. It's pretty simple. The whole process with the shape might take a little longer to get those appendages sorted out. It could take anywhere from 15 minutes to 30 minutes to 45 minutes. That's the kind of time frame of the inflation. There will be a crown line person. That person will hold a rope on the end. It's usually a bigger person that can they're going to play tug of war. They're going to hold that balloon down. They're going to let that heat kind of fill up that balloon, and they're going to slowly let it come up while holding that rope the whole time. That is a mandatory glove position. So if a pilot tries to ask you to do his crown line, just ask for some gloves. Unless you're Jim Duncan. He can do it. He can do it all. He's good. But so those are the main things. And on that crown line, again, we do not wrap the ropes. I know you're never supposed to tell people what they're not supposed to do, but that one's really a big safety factor. So once the balloon is inflated, the pilots will need some assistance with putting weight. They either want weight all the way in the basket or they want it around the edge of the basket. They will tell you exactly what they need. If we're doing around the basket, it's usually your arms are kind of on the basket, you're holding your weight on. Again, that's where you're watching your feet, because that's where you might get some movement. It's a little breezy right now, that would be very normal. If they want you all the way in the basket, there's a little step hole, they'll show you how. You might be ballast inside the balloon. Again, each pilot's going to tell you what position, how they want. The deflation part, it just will squeeze the air out. We're going to help pack it in a bag. They all have their own process. It's pretty simple. The main things are, probably need some gloves. You might see me or a pilot pulling on fabric to pull things out and adjust things. I have a lot of people that try to follow that. The pilot will ask you if he wants you to do that. So I let the fan do the work. That's my motto. Some pilots are different. They might spread the whole thing out. So again, it's kind of just different types of piloting. So the glow will be from, we're going to try to inflate as soon as we can. So we're going to go out to the balloons, kind of get things rigged. The glow is actually, we'll probably from 8 to 8:15 laser show. And then after that, so probably around 9 o'clock, is 8:45, 9 o'clock is when those balloons, the shape balloons and such, will deflate. Tether balloons will stay up until we get tether rides done. So does anybody have any questions?